Alright, welcome back to part 3 of my Red Dead Revolver playthrough. Let's get started. Chapter 3, Ugly Street Gang. This little town has fallen on hard times and is on its last legs. The only thing keeping this town alive is the O'Grady's. Now, there's not much to buy in this shop apparently. And I finally have my, I can take whatever weapons I want into the next level. This is the best weapon, obviously, the Scorpion Revolver. This is the weapon that Red shot that guy's arm off. Anyways, I can also get a long arm. I think the presser's a rifle, but this is like crazy good. The escopeta, I can't pronounce it. Sorry. The this is really hard to get. The snake oil. You can only get one, like 5. You can only buy like 5 bottles each playthrough or each set. Each new game is what I mean. Similar case with the Molotovs. Dynamite you can buy a shit ton of, and knives you can buy a shit ton of. But other than that, a lot of these throwables aren't. You can't really buy them that many. Also, I never really talked about it. I don't think I remember talking about it, but back in Chapter 2, when you saw Red looking at his hand and the scar, the in-game graphics don't really tell you it. But I remember reading the game manual, even recently, because, I don't know, it has a pretty good game manual. This was back when game manuals were actually pretty standard and actually good to read. Like, they're actually interesting. It tells you that Red's scar in his hand actually looks like a scorpion, kind of. Like, he has, like, the scorpion engraving, I guess, burned into his hand. I don't know, it's pretty, I don't know, I think that's pretty cool, but anyways, let's move on, and I'll just show you this next chapter.
How much for the lot?
Well, you did good, son, but you're out of luck. Take a look around. There ain't much here. I got nothing to offer you. The Ugly Gang is done destroyed my town. Look at that
that damn doggone leaved himself all over them fancy boots he owns. Damn barman.
So yeah, the dog only makes it 2 chapters. They had to do the shoot the dog trope, I guess, or kick the dog trope, to show how dastardly these guys are. I never understood that insult. Take that, you ferret. Is it because they're pests? How the fuck is this guy still alive? Dang, I didn't get as much meter as I could have got. It's no big deal though. Now, this stage is actually one of the most detailed stages. I don't think any of the stages actually compare to how detailed this is, and you'll see why in a second. See, now if you're speedrunning, you don't want to kill that guy first or that guy. You want to kill this guy first because he doesn't do that animation. This guy also does the animation because he falls through the roof. See? I like how gothic this song is. It's not the most western, but it's very gothic. And this guy is actually scary, Hedgehog. If you let him get close to you, he'll fucking kill you because he's using a sawed-off shotgun to try to kill you. Now watch this. That's so cool, man. Like, it's just this is basically like Red Dead Revolver's equivalent of the first area in Metal Gear Solid 1, where you had to like watch out for walking over puddles, and I believe there's grates in it too. You know, you guys know about the first scene in Metal Gear Solid 1 where Snake has to get to the elevator. It's heavily detailed, and so is the snow section to get inside Shadow Moses Island. But you don't actually see those details ever again in the game, or maybe one other time, but that's about it. And it's the same thing with this game, you don't actually have like the environment reacting like it does here in any other part, at least from what I can remember, right off the top of my head. Anyways, I'm going to skip the tutorial and just tell you how to do this. So in the dual quick draw, you just go back on your aim analog and then go back forward really fast. And I fucked that up because I'm telling you guys how to do it. So you go, like, basically as soon as the game lets you, you tilt your right analog stick back quickly, pull your pistol out of your holster, and then pull it back forward, or tilt it forward to aim as quickly as possible. And then the markers, which is yellow, red, 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 or yellow, red, red. Second, like when it's super close, the cursor is very closely knit together like that. That means that you have a more deadly shot, or you're more accurate. And you hit R1 to lock on now, or mark them, as it's becoming more accurate. And then once you're ready or feel comfortable with all your markings, you hit R2 to set the game back to normal time instead of bullet time. I hope I explained that well enough. Maybe I should have done the tutorial, but I just didn't really see it necessary.
Where are you running off to, Sheriff? You may have beaten my gang, but you ain't gonna get by me!
Also, that's one of that little boss fight right before Ugly Chris right here. I like how he's just called Ugly here. That's one of the few instances where we actually hear the main video game theme. And that boss, Gigolo, or whatever that guy was over there, that was in that saloon over there, you can kill him immediately as soon as he spawns. Like, if you're speedrunning this, run to where he's gonna spawn, because he's always gonna spawn over there, and then shoot him in the head. You can kill him like 1 second before any of the other enemies spawn. And it doesn't even matter if you kill any of the enemies over here, at least from what I can remember. So you run over here and then shoot him in the head immediately before any of the enemies spawn, and it just immediately goes to this in like 1 second. Anyways, this is how you fight Ugly Chris. Is you don't shoot the old man. Always aim for his his right side, and he goes into a stun lock.
Run away, little chicken! Oh, here I come!
Previously in the practice run,
Excuse me, mister? Mister, please, can you help me? You gotta help my pa. There's no doctor left in this town.
The closest doctor's in Brimstone. Sheriff Bartlett might offer you a handsome reward if you can get me there.
I'll send a telegram and tell him about your arrival.
So, as I was about to say before the cutscene came up, in the previous run, the practice run I did for this video, I somehow did enough damage to Ugly Chris, like I did to the first boss in this level, that he wasn't actually dead, but he was a one-hit KO death. So I knocked Ugly Chris from holding the sheriff. The sheriff punched him and got the kill by punching him in the face, and I just thought that was really funny. I wish it was on record, but unfortunately it is not. And that's the end of the video. Here's the balance. The main baddie, I guess, because there's multiple bosses. You saw earlier that there's multiple bosses. It's just that you can only have like one boss listed, unfortunately. I did pretty poorly, but you know, I was doing the tutorial and talking the whole time, so yeah, it's whatever. Widow's Patch is definitely one of the like best levels, or most detailed levels. Hands down, it has to be the most detailed level in the entire game. Extremely small, which is probably why it's heavily detailed. And I say it's one of the best levels just because it's very fun in versus, if I remember right. Like, it just goes crazy, you know. Small level. It's kind of like, I don't know, Call of Duty's Nuketown, you know, just small, efficient, has personality. Anyways, you get the point. That's the end of the video. I'll see you in the next part. Peace.